a red-eye this morning. We left LA at 10:55 and got in at 8:30, and then like jumped into opening ceremony. So I never have sugar, but they were like, "You need this today."
Have you at least eaten today?
I had breakfast.
Oh my!
Oh
Yeah.
no, that's
something.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, hey, it's fun. It's all good. We love cons.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
Hey. Yeah.
Sometimes we do forget to eat.
It's true.
Okay, Sherry, thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you.
We're with Outlet JVS, and I'm a big Asuna fan.
Thank you.
I love Sword Online, but you're a vet, in all honesty. Like, you've been through everything from
Oh,
Ruby, My Hero Academia, Sword Online, Whack Fu. A lot of people don't know that on Netflix. It's actually really fun, really cool. Mobile Suit Gundam, and I was just curious, like, what's your favorite like character to kind of embody and embrace that you've kind of experienced through your time?
It's so hard to pick just one, but I think probably my favorite, the favorite thing that I can relate to with all of the characters is I love playing characters that have a lot of integrity and have a purpose and feel passionate about what they're doing. And even if they're a villain, if they feel like that their side is the right side and that they're making the world a better place, even if it's from some warped mental place, that's fascinating to play, to try to understand and love and empathize with this character and get on her side, as it's my job playing her to be on her side. And then when I step out and I could be Cherami, I look at it and go, oh, someone hurt you and now you're hurting other people, and that's not okay. But yeah, it definitely stretches my understanding of the human condition, which is one of my favorite things about being an actor. So anything that makes me think or makes me grow or look at myself in a critical way, or even just say, like, you're not taking care of yourself. There's a show that I was working on recently where she was talking about that she's time traveling. It's Steins Gate, and she's talking about time traveling and wishing that she had more time with her parents and that she needs to balance more. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it. I'm working too much and I need to balance. And then I saw Christopher Robin and thought the same thing. So clearly the world is just telling me to take a moment and work on balance. But yeah, that's my favorite thing. These characters come to me, and at the time that I need to work on those things that they're offering, which is amazing how that works.
So you're learning from the characters.
Oh, always.
That's
There hasn't been one character that I've ever played that it's just been a character and it's just been a job.
Wow.
Every time I've left, even if it's been a couple days later, but usually it's either in the session I have an epiphany and go, it's good. Not that my performance was good, but like the writing was good or the scene was good, and I connect the dots of how in my life this is relevant to me. And I've had that with every single character. So having to go, well, which one's my favorite? It's like, well, which experience has been more valuable in my life? And there hasn't been one, because without this, it wouldn't have led to this, which wouldn't have led to this. So they've all been incredibly instrumental.
That's interesting. You had an interesting question about Persona 5 as well.
Yeah.
So Persona 5 was one of my favorite RPGs. I don't know how many else, but so Makoto was my favorite character in the whole game.
Oh, thank you.
The way you voiced her was so powerful in every moment. And,
Thank you so much.
So, how being such a strong heroine character, how does she make you feel? Like, what does she mean to you?
What I loved so much about Makoto when they asked me to be a part of the Persona series, and then they were telling me a little bit about the characters, and I said, so which one would you like me to play? And they said Makoto after they explained it. I said I was hoping that that's who you'd say, because that's who I related to. In school, I always tried to do the right thing. I never got a detention. I never wanted to get in trouble. I tried to be perfect, and I still sometimes feel like I'm trying to be perfect and it's impossible to be perfect. And so going through that journey with Makoto, I totally understood it. And it's an impossible thing for her to live up to these expectations that she's created for herself, and believes that her sister is set for her when really her sister just wants to take care of her. And I think going through the journey of her getting to know the Phantom Thieves and seeing them as like, oh, the bad guys, and they're ruining the school, and then realizing, wait, maybe the bad guys aren't the bad guys. Maybe this is like a gray area. And it really broadened her life experience, and it helped her kind of oddly enough, get over some of her insecurities of being perfect. And she embraced being imperfect and embraced life being messy. And I'm still working on that. So that was a really great character to play, just because I totally understood that.
Totally
and
relatable.
Yeah, absolutely. And so when people say, man, she's my favorite character and she's so strong, I think, man, I love that, because I love that everybody sees that she's strong, because when I was working on it, I see the strength in her, but some of the lines and the things that I'm saying, and I think we all as human beings can relate to how people perceive us. They perceive us as being strong, and we say, well, I'm so insecure and I feel so broken and I don't know how I can do this. And so I think it's one of the things I love about anime is people will look at what characters do you relate to, and do you see the strength, do you see the love, what do you relate to, and then are we missing that in ourselves? Do we wish people would see that in us? Why are we relating to that character? The psychology of that is fascinating for me. But I'm glad you love her. She's one of my faves.
Yeah, she was amazing.
Yes, she's so cool and so well written, and I wish I could ride a motorcycle.
Yes, that was so awesome.
I feel like I would injure myself, but more importantly, other people. Maybe I just need to not be a perfectionist about it and jump on the motorcycle, see what happens. You're like, no, I think safety first.
Yeah, like seriously, we want you to continue to do this. Like, we want you to be around.
I'm gonna come to Otakon next year, like in a wheelchair, broken legs, and like she tried to ride a motorcycle.
Go behind.
Yeah, exactly.
But I guess riffing off of that, Asuna, like she's a strong character from the very
Absolutely.
beginning in Ancred. Like man, you embodied it so well.
Thank you so
But
much.
I thought it was really interesting her metamorphosis going through the second season with the Gunga arc, and then specifically the Mother's Rosary was just so deep and resonated.
Yeah.
Ordinal Scale was a huge success. Congratulations
Thank
with that.
you.
But it was even like Asuna, like a fish out of water situation as well, because like her life was literally in jeopardy, because one of the most amazing things about her is her strength and her ability to realize people, and then she was losing her consciousness, you know, and I was like scared for the character.
Absolutely.
And so now we got the Alicization coming up, season 3, and I know Bryce said he hasn't read anything or knows anything.
I know so little. I found that when I start watching ahead of time and then we don't get the season or we don't get to dub it, then I've gotten so excited and hyped up, and then we don't get to work on it, and a part of me kind of dies. And so I don't want to do that. So I've experienced very, very little and have read ahead not very much, because I'm like, oh, it's getting good.
Exactly.
Wait till we get the announcement that we get to dub it, because we have no idea. Austin it's been amazing. Again, like the things that have come up in my life. When we were doing the first season, my husband proposed to me. So while she's going through her love story with Kirito, I'm planning a wedding.
Wow.
With the Mother's Rosario arc, I had it was the first time that I had lost someone very close to me. So I was dealing with the death of my great aunt, and I thought that I had grieved her death. And then when we're going through the scene, our director Alex, who knows me so well by this point, he goes, "I feel like you're holding back," and I said, I am, because I don't. He was like, okay, and I explained this. He said, well, then just deliver the scene to her.
Yeah.
And we did one take, and I said, can I do it again? He goes, it's not about being perfect, Jeremy. It's real. It's done. You're not doing it again. That was beautiful. And I was like, oh, okay, can I hear it again? He goes, no, you may not. You may not judge your grief. You may not judge any of it. It's fine. And so again, it's like, well, I wouldn't have gone through those things without her. And an ordinal scale, just the fear of like, she had to remember that she was strong, because without that, she's just like, I'm weak without it.
Hollow.
And I can't even imagine what that would be like to forget everything. And I hear stories about people that have had amnesia or forget everything for whatever the case is, and I can't even imagine.
Scary.
So whatever's coming up with Sword Art, let's hope it's not anything too emotional, because I don't know what that will parallel in my life, and I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Yeah. I know for a fact you guys, I think just today, they said that they're announcing, like, you guys getting a world premiere. Like,
What?
So, like, everybody's going to collectively celebrate the season. And I think that everybody around has said that this season is going to be one of the biggest because they could be 40 plus episodes. I'm pretty sure you're going to get work.
I'm so excited. I mean, people are like, don't worry, job security. I'm like, job security? I just want to see my character come back. I want to experience her story. Yeah. I love her so much. I don't care if she comes back for 5 episodes or 52 episodes. Like, just tell the story that she needs to experience as a character, whatever that looks like. So I'm excited. I love her so much.
Yeah, and we collectively, there was 2 different questions between both of us.
Yeah.
One was his was like in the booth. Are you ever with other people, or is it just you working by yourself?
Occasionally, we have group records. Usually, if it's original animation, if it's dubbing, we are always alone.
I figured.
Just because the matching the sync for the lip flaps is so tedious that to have to match. Like for Sword Art, Bryce's sync and my sync, we would be there all day. Also, Bryce and I crack too many jokes; we would get nothing done. We're just too good of friends. Yeah. So yeah, that happens occasionally for like original animation where there's a time and space for us to improvise, but usually we're all alone in a padded room, locked away like a crazy person.
And I guess the last question was Ari from Erased. Like she's kind of a side character, but the thing about that was one of the most amazing like mini animes that I've ever.
I love that show.
I bought the box set and everything. I mean, I've got all the Sword Art Online box sets, but like that one, it was like something about it that I was like, is there more to this story?
Right.
You know
Those
what I'm saying?
cliffhangers were insane.
Yeah.
So it was very cool when we premiered Ordinal Scale in Japanese. The director for Sword Art came to watch a session, and we went to dinner, and he is also the director of Erased.
Yeah.
And so we were talking to him, we said, so about season 3, what's coming up, and talk to us about Erased, because the director in English, the English dub, Alex Von David, he's done all of those series as well.
Yeah.
So it was very cool to get to talk to them and hear their perspectives, and they both said, we love the shows, but they are so emotionally draining. Yeah. And you can tell because you can feel like they put everything into the show. And because they're putting everything into the show, we as actors just don't. We don't have a choice not to. And the stories are so rich and so well written, and the characters are so vibrant that you can't not. It's just, it would be not like opening a beautiful present and like seeing that it's there and being like, no, I'm not finishing unwrapping it. Like, it's just such a gift working on that. I love that show. It's one of my, Erased is one of my husband's favorites. We went to premiere the first 2 episodes at Anime Expo a couple years ago, and my husband goes, I'm sorry, that's it? And I said, that's all we recorded. We were just doing this as a tease. And he goes, that's not cool.
That's what I'm saying.
He loved it so much.
I really am praying that you get a second season. Like, I've heard nothing,
I don't know if they do it. I don't know if they do it, but it is
the meat is there.
And Ben Diskin did such a fantastic job. Like, he's such a joking character, high energy, like, life is always great. And they sat him down in the chair, and he sat and recorded the whole time, and I'm like, dude, you are so depressing. He goes, and you are so annoyingly chipper. I was like, you're welcome. Like, it was such a blast.
Well, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
We appreciate you, and
thank
good
you.
luck with season 3. It's going to be amazing.
I'm so excited.
All right.
Thank you.
Call me the wingman, cause I'm on his team. Higher than the flyest spaceship you ever seen. Hotter than a sunbeam, cause it's so real. Call him Mr. Wonderful.